Hey guys, it's Zolva here, and today I'm joined by EtiTheSpirit, who is a scripter for creatures of Sonaria. As some of you may be aware, Eti is single-handedly rewriting the entire game code from scratch, so we're here to answer some important questions regarding that. So sit back, relax, get comfy, and enjoy the video. Okay, so first things first, a lot of people have been wondering with this new rewriting of the code, will our save data translate or will we have to start again completely from scratch?
Your save data will translate, and as a matter of fact, due to how I'm doing it, it'll also be backed up. So in the worst case scenario, we have something to go back to if your save data gets messed up in the process.
Okay, so there's like a minimal chance that it may be lost, but even if it is lost, it is absolutely completely fixable and people shouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, awesome. Another question that people have had is, will we have voice chatting creatures of Sonaria?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's not my question to answer. That's up to like Alert and Arithia.
Oh, that'd be so funny. um, so with the actual rewrite, would it come with the new map or will it be implemented before the new map is released?
Right now, we're trying to get it implemented with the new map, but there's no guarantee because these things that we're doing take any amount of time that is completely impossible to guess. So I really don't know, but we're shooting for it.
So will the new map have all of the disasters that were mentioned, like flooding?
I believe so. I haven't been specifically asked to implement them yet, but I believe that we're going to try to do it because I know that the new mesh water is going to be on that map, unless something goes wrong.
So the new map in itself, with the flooding, will it come with the new map again, or is it going to come a little bit later, maybe in a new update after the map has been released, or is it all going to come at once, or do you just not know?
I don't know for sure, but I do know that there's some interest in having it all at once.
To
This
be
is sort of
fair,
like mega update,
to be honest, I
you
think
know?
it'd make sense if it all came at once, because it'd stop
Yeah,
anything from getting left behind, you know.
yeah.
And that way you wouldn't really have to rush, because it'd all just be out like that, and then you wouldn't have to think about it again.
hmm
So, what new features on the topic of flooding? What new features can we expect after the rewrite?
Oh, among the largest ones, uh, there's a lot going on, but the most noticeable one, I think, is the new character physics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that one's gonna have full-fledged physics. Like you're gonna be able to jump as some creatures fly around. There'll be actual gravity rather than just slowly floating down. Um, I don't know about fall damage. I don't think we're gonna do that
Yeah, I was gonna
because
say fall damage could go really wrong, especially if the game lags.
yeah,
On mobile, you end up like pancaking your flying creature into the wall and it disintegrates before your eyes. That wouldn't be good.
it'd be funny, but yeah, it
Oh
wouldn't be
yeah, it'd
good.
be so funny. Can we get squish physics, please?
Just like add a little glass sound, go boom.
The Vine boom sound effect.
Oh my god. But yeah, so like there's gonna be the new physics, and another one that is kind of noticeable that I'm really excited for is the new pack system because that's been kind of garbage. Uh, New packs will be based solely on your diet, and
Oh, so it won't
depending
be
on how
about
things
tiers
go,
anymore.
that's correct. It's
Okay.
only carnivore, herbivore,
Well, does that
omnivore.
mean that different tiers can mix?
Yes, yes,
Ooh, that'll be fun.
yeah. Um, though additionally, I think we're going to go for a new chat as well. This is kind of more speculative, but I had made a new chat UI, and if we do that, it'll actually have a little tab in it just for packs. So you have like a party chat sort of thing, which is going to be really
Oh,
cool.
oh, that'd be really good too.
Yeah.
Now people can roleplay in packs instead of doing it in the main chat.
Yeah, there we go. Problem solved.
Okay, so
Um,
will
yeah.
the new update fix, like, will it
No.
fix?
Wrong answer.
So, will the new update fix,
Yes.
Will it fix the lag? Will it finally fix? Oh my gosh, please!
Yeah, yeah,
Etty,
it'll
please, will
definitely
the lag
fix
be
the lag.
fixed? Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
So mobile
That's one of the
players will
important
no
ones.
longer, like, be thrown into the void or anything like that. It, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be solved.
Yeah, mobile devices are no longer going to be portable toasters, so
Okay, that's
we can
good,
look
that's
forward to
good.
that.
So, if the rewrite does release with the new map, will it include any new lore? And what the heck happened to Daimona? Was it cancelled?
All right, so as far as new lore, I'm not exactly sure. Uh, my personal guess, and I could be very wrong, is that it's going to be a sort of thing where we just leave stuff in the world and let people come to their own conclusions. But and as far as Daimona goes, it wasn't canceled, but it was made into an external project unrelated to Sonar Studios. So it's an independent game now. So
Okay,
we
so
don't have
it's
anything to do with
there's
it.
no connection between Daimona and Creatures of Sonaria in terms of like development, but players are free to make any links that they want to, but it's not official.
Yeah, I believe so. And as
Okay.
far as the SAR goes, I really don't know what to think about that. It's kind of a loose end, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I suppose loose ends are fun though, because people can make up their
Hmm.
own theories.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Speaking of like creatures and loose ends though, will any creatures be removed when transferring to the new game? Because it is getting quite cluttered.
No, we're gonna do a full transfer, and I've actually written tools to automate that, but the reason for this automation is a huge feature that I'll probably discuss a little later.
Hmm. And speaking of like transferring stuff, will any of the random features brought up in casual conversation over the past few months and speculations and stuff like that be added?
Some yes, some no. I have personally done a lot of spitballing, and there's a lot of stuff I would like to do, but out of most of the casual conversations that I've had with people talking about new ideas, a lot of it is just spitballing, so there's nothing really official about it.
Hmm.
So I don't think so, but who knows? It could change.
Yeah. I suppose it is all subject to change, to be honest.
Hmm.
So, linking back to like the mobile thing, I was going to expand on it then, but I completely forgot to. Will mobile get some more love, and what's planned for mobile devices? Because aside from lag, what is going to change for mobile players? Is the user interface going to be given like a new lick of love?
Yeah, this is a large boy answer. The mobile is getting a lot of changes. So the biggest ones, I think, better controls for one. One of the things that I've been prototyping, and you can actually go and test this. I have a public place for it. I guess we'll have Zolva link that or something, but you can link that. The tilting your device will actually tilt the camera with it. If
Oh,
you've ever
really?
played like Splatoon on your Nintendo Switch, it's kind of
Mhm.
like that. Um, but rather than a recenter button, you just manually move your camera the old-fashioned way if you want to readjust. Um, as far as controls go, mobile will be able to do everything. You can finally mud roll. Um, and for the sake of clearing up the screen clutter, I'm actually going to implement two modes, I think. So I was thinking like exploration mode and combat mode, where each one has a different set of buttons and a
Mhm.
different HUD style. So exploration mode would make it so if you tap on stuff in the world, you'd like interact with it. You eat, drink, mud roll, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and combat mode, which can be manually turned on or it would automatically turn on when you're attacked, will be used for combat. When you tap, you'll bite, that sort of thing. There'll
Oh,
be a buttons for your abilities. Yeah.
yeah, that sounds like it'd make it a lot easier to differentiate between attacking and eating, and then you accidentally misclick someone. It isn't a like, what's it called? Like a danger anymore when you're playing on mobile and you're tapping on the screen.
Hmm. And I
Okay.
was thinking just one last tidbit here. When you tap on people in exploration mode, I might have like a context menu where you can invite them to packs and stuff too. That was going to be a
Oh, yeah, that'd be
idea.
good too.
Yeah.
All of the iPad kids are like cheering right now.
Yeah, and for good reason.
True,
This is a big
it's
change.
yeah, it's a massive change, and it's kind of like I'd say it's like quite long overdue. Like so much has happened to Sonaria, but mobile players have been completely left out.
Yeah.
Poor little guys, little scrunglies, poor little guys.
Um, I gotta say though, some of that is partly because of Roblox.
Mm.
We can't test mobile in Studio anymore. You used to be able to link Studio to the device, but you can't do that anymore. So to test mobile features, we actually have to publish, log in play mode on our phones or tablets and test it
Damn.
there. So it's a hassle.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of why nobody wanted to do it. So I just sat down and said, I'm doing it,
Yeah.
you know?
So, you know how everything's changing with mobile?
Mhm.
What's the most important code change in your opinion? So, like, what sort of changes will you prioritize to make sure it gets done?
So the most important changes I think are the core systems is what I call them. So like this is the script that runs on the server and manages every single player at once.
Hmm.
That's where most of the lag we have comes from, is that script as it is right now is written very poorly and it's very slow. So the computer spends a lot of time doing a bunch of garbage that it could do a different way a lot faster.
Yeah.
Um, so my goal is to write that script to be as efficient as possible so that we reduce as much load from the server as possible, which means less lag
Mm.
between players. So players shouldn't skip around anymore, and a lot of the networking lag issues should actually fix themselves because half of that was caused by the server just not being able to respond in time.
Mm. What is the largest individual change that this code update contains?
The largest change, a lot of stuff is fighting for that title, but the largest one I think is Creature Data version 2. And that has to do with how we represent species in the game. The old method is very unfriendly to our developers, and it's slow for the computer, so it's kind of hurts everybody. Um, One example is if you look at something like the Eris's stats, there's just a bunch of named value objects sitting there. And the thing is, we got to memorize what the names of those things are, and they don't necessarily exist for every creature. So we can't look at other creatures and go, oh, yeah, that's what it is. At least not every creature. So it's a mess. And the other problem is if we want to change something, there's only one, you can only edit one thing at a time because each one of those things is one value. Now, under the new system, we use something called attributes, which are recently added by Roblox. And it's basically custom information associated with objects in your game. I made a plugin to further extend these attributes. And so this new plugin has this fancy interface and makes editing creatures way easier. And because we're using attributes, I can have a much cleaner structure for this data that's way easier for people to look at too. And this plugin is very helpful because unlike the traditional properties menu, it has something like a description at the bottom, which shows what these properties are for, what exactly they do, when you should set them.
Hmm.
And my favorite personal bit is the intrinsic properties section, which is intrinsic properties are properties that emerge from other properties. So for example, there's the uses photosynthesis intrinsic property, and that becomes true if you're a photovore or photocarnivore, but false for everything else.
Oh, so it makes it easier when making a new creature. You can just kind of tick a box and that kind of sets it instead of having to go in and manually code it in.
In this case, not exactly. The intrinsic properties are read-only, so humans can't change them and the computer can't change them. They're more like observations, I guess is a way to put it.
Hmm.
Like the computer's observation of the stats. Now, these are important because one of the things right now in the game is uh, photosynthesizing creatures don't actually get a debuff at night like they're supposed to. So using this, the script can actually look at this property and immediately know. It doesn't even have to go in and check their diet. It just looks at this and it's ready to go. The other thing that is very nice for our developers is we have to remember every single ability name and every single breath name, and that's hard to do because there's dozens of these things. So
Mm.
the new thing has a little drop down menu where you could just select it and it's ready to go. Easy. Um, so overall, this is a lot easier for not only our developers, but it's also easier for the computer. And part of this change involves standardizing things. So one example is status effects. You know how creatures can bleed stuff like sorry, bleed or poison,
Yeah?
and like you bite them, you get necropoison. The
Yeah.
thing is, we that's all we can do. We can't do any other status effects, minus the ones that are in the game right now.
Oh, so this
And
change means that you can add different things and more complicated things and make creatures, like, have more unique abilities, but right now you're bottlenecked. But this new plugin that you've made kind of enables more complex things to happen.
yeah, yeah. So um, now it's possible for, say, like a cold creature, if it bites you, maybe it can apply the cold effect or something. Even
Ooh.
environmental effects could be applied, which is very, very nice.
Oh, that'd be really
Um,
cool.
yeah, there's so much potential here.
Lastly, I just want to ask, I think everyone is screaming at you. Why are you doing this to yourself? And why are you doing it alone? And what prompted you to go through this?
I'm not gonna lie, I I just got fed up with the game myself. Like,
Mm.
I play the game regularly, and as much as I hate to call out my coworkers, a lot of developers, not only here but in gaming in general, don't even play their own game, so they don't know what's wrong with it. So everybody's here sitting oblivious, and I'm the one actively playing the game. And I
Mm.
go, this sucks.
Yeah.
Nothing works. It's busted. People
Yep.
are lagging around.
Yep.
And I just go, you know what? Screw it. If they're not going to fix it, I'm going to do it myself.
I can
And
I
so
can
I
just
did.
say I can just say this on like behalf of the entire Creatures of Sonaria community that for months, I mean since beta, they've been like screaming about these things that are wrong and they've just not had like anything listened to by the developers. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for putting yourself through this to make the game
Yeah.
better because I could not imagine, especially with the new map being so huge and so like adventurous with like everything that's going on, it would break the game. It would be so like
Hmm.
unbearable. Like the lag would just be intensified so much. So thank
Yeah.
you for like going through and manually redoing the coding. I like how far have you gotten so far and how's it been?
If I had to make a guess, like a percentage, I'd put myself at like 15% of the way through,
Oh
even though
my
it's been
gosh.
3 weeks.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I'm doing the hard stuff first
Yeah.
because you gotta think of it like a building. There's the framework, and then after you have the framework, you can put up the walls and the floors. And
Yeah.
then after you have the walls and the floors, you can put the decoration. So that rate of getting things done will accelerate as I continue.
Well, that's
But
good.
yeah, so hopefully, just because I might bring this up too. Um, Ideally, I get this done by the end of February. That's
Mhm.
my target. But, this is a big change. In fact, it's the
Yeah.
biggest coding change I've done in all 11 years of me coding. So it could very well take a month or two longer in the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. So you're aiming for it to be done by February, but that's not set in stone and it can be reviewed depending on your progress.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
awesome. I think that's everything that we were gonna go over. Is there anything else you just want to quickly like chuck in at the end?
Not really.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and thank you so much for answering these questions that the community has been like screaming about for so long.
Hmm.
Mainly panic over data loss, creature loss, and stuff like that. So thank you for like putting people's worries at bay. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the rewrite.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Peace.